However, I think he may have lost a Mutalisk. If not, he did some. There was some damage done to those Mutalisks. And now it's up to Firebat Hero to defend as well as attack. GG is coming in here. He's going to try to take out one turret. It looks like it is going to go down here, but with 3 sunken colonies on the front door, it looks like Firebat Hero's going to have to make up his mind whether he wants to push in here or not. I think he wants at least 1 or 2 more medics with that group, as well as probably a couple more Marines as well. Some Lings, yeah, just sitting on the front door there, and it's good. It's a good thing that Firebat Hero didn't just decide to, in the dark, go in and try to attack that front door, because those Mutalisks were heading home there. And yeah, some excellent micro coming out there. I'm gonna have to credit this style of micro, this Mutalisk picking off style of micro, to Flash as well. I mean, Boxer was the originator of Medic Marine micro. However, Flash has just been so phenomenal at picking off Mutalisks. And we can see here what the difference in skill level is between a player like Flash here, Firebat Hero not able to pick off the Mutalisks as they come in, and finally a little bit of a dual attack here with Lings and Mutalisk picking off that force on the front door. So a lot of pressure relieved off of GG. However, Firebat Hero looking to push out there. Now we're going to run back home, throwing up a 5th and 6th barracks now. So he's going to be looking to go for just this maximum all-in almost Medic Marine build. He's not going to be teching anytime soon. I haven't seen a factory going up as well, so we're not going to see any kind of tech in the mid-game here. One medic just getting picked off there kind of carelessly by Firebat Hero. In the middle of the field there, some Lings looking to just kind of check out that front door, see what's going on there, see if he can possibly run in, pick off some turrets, as well as fight with those Mutalisks. Now this force for Firebat Hero just absolutely loving putting pressure on. He's going to sit outside that front door, and he's going to, unfortunately, be met by lurkers that are morphing in now. So, yeah, actually a factory was up. I did not notice that. And here comes Firebat Hero pushing in on the front door. He really wants to pick off these sunken colonies before the lurkers morph, but those lurkers have been up for a while now. Yeah, those lurkers are going to be able to come down and wreak havoc all over those Medic Marines. And they're just going to sit on that front door. And again, Firebat Hero finding himself between a rock and a lurker spine place now, with lurkers all over the field. All over that front door, rather, doing so much damage. However, I do want to point out here that this game is actually in Firebat Hero's favor. Although he's behind in tech, it's definitely in Firebat Hero's favor right now, because GG is actually only on 2 bases. And a 2 base versus 2 base, Terran versus Zerg, you really, really need to be on way more than 2 bases. However, Firebat Hero is going to lose this force in the middle of the field here. And I think that's the only consolation that GG can take at this point in time, is the fact that he's been taking out these forces just in such a dominating fashion. However, a lot of tanks out in the field now. One of them got damaged, I believe, by Mutalisks, possibly by Lings. 2 engineering bays out in the field as well, and now Firebat Hero finally catching up in tech. He's gonna have science vessels coming out very shortly. That science facility is up, and there's the first science vessel. However, GG looking to pick it off, not going to be able to pick it off, having to run away with those Mutalisks. Oh, and all those Marines just walking, freshly recruited Marines walking out of the barracks, apparently not knowing what to do when there's Mutalisks flying overhead. Could have probably picked off 1 or 2 of them there as they came out. Hive Tech now coming up for GG as well, and it looks like Firebat Hero is sieging and unsieging his tanks in this kind of synchronized tank dance. I'm not sure what's going on there. Now Firebat Hero just checking out these different locations. Tornado, like I said, is kind of this weird, quirky map. I really think that it favors the Terran player just because it's so difficult. As we're seeing here, it's so difficult for the Zerg player to take his third, and losing a couple of Marines there and 1 lurker for GG. I think GG will definitely take that trade. About 4 or 5 Marines there going down for just 1 lurker and a couple of Lings. Nothing too significant, though, at this point in the game where macro is starting to become more relevant than micro. So yeah, just this push coming across the field here. Usually at this point in the game, you see the Terran player with just this massive ball of biomech, and unfortunately, that's not what we're seeing here. It's just kind of this medium-sized force, and I think as soon as GG realizes what's going on here, he'll just push in there. He can use those Mutalisks as a buffer for the lurkers to just push in and surround and just completely mutilate that Medic Marine force there, as well as the tanks and the science vessel. No Scourge out in the air just yet, but there is a massive army. I have to point out it is split, looking for a flank, as we see here, but it is a massive force indeed for GG, and he's not going to be looking to push on that front door. Fire by Hero preparing for a push on the front door. However, it's going to be a pincer attack on this force, and that's what GG's been doing so well this game. Unfortunately, there's Fire by Hero in range of that sunken colony. It's going to go down shortly, however, not losing any forces to it. But that's what GG's been doing so well this game. It's just been picking off the forces of Firebat Hero. And it looks like Firebat Hero pushing across the field here with yet another force. And as soon as this force meets up with the initial force, he's going to have just such a strong position. However, he's going to have to deal with this push coming in here first. Siege tanks are sieged up, not going to be able to unsiege. And just a ton of lurker fire coming in here, destroying and massacring the forces of Firebat Hero. Firebat Hero taking that secondary force and having to push back. That bunker finishing up just now. And it looks like Firebat Hero not in that great of a position here. Firebat just looking so intense. I have to say, Firebat Hero just looking like the master, just looking so violent with his facial features. I think it's the lack of glasses. The glasses just made him look like such a nerd, but, I mean, a dominating nerd nonetheless. So Firebat Hero with his secondary force picking off those lurkers, going to try to push in here, try to put more pressure on the front door. However, with only one tank, he's only going to be shelling, well, obviously one shot at a time. But I mean, you really want, yeah, here comes some secondary tanks, but here comes the Marines pushing in here as well. No Defilers out in the field just yet. The Defilers mount is up. However, Firebat Hero is going to be able to push in here, and he is going to be able to crack this front door. I didn't expect GG to have such a lack of forces. Those Defilers are now up. You're going to be eating some Scourge, and just seeing if he can defend here. One swarm does go down. Firebat here is going to be able to have to back up though, not too far though, with only one swarm down. Some Zerglings coming in from the back and the front. Not going to be able to do much of anything. However, that swarm is not in range of those Marines, which are in range of the hatchery. And with a third base coming up here, yeah, GG knows what's up. GG gonna have to GG, and yeah, really nice game there played by Firebat Hero. Kind of unorthodox. The way the game was turning out on both sides, with the Zerg player just trying to massacre, and GG coming from GG right there. Just kind of GG just focusing on the army game, just trying to focus down Firebat Hero's forces and come out with a win that way. And the peace sign waving by Firebat Hero. He's always got to do something, even if it's something small and insignificant like that. But anyway, Samsung Khan goes up 1-0. Kind of saw it coming, but oh, and there's the little dance and a bow just to let him know that he still respects the game. But anyways, really nice game there from Firebat Hero and Samsung Khan. I'll see you guys in the next set.